What are you seeing?
Like all of these souls, they're like lights being drawn into the circle.
Um, are they soul fragments?
It looks like it's
Yeah, they're
fragmented,
pieces.
like,
They're soul
yeah,
pieces or
even
soul fragments.
like things stuck in time and space too, like fragments that were stuck and frozen.
Yeah, they're all getting released. These soul fragments are pieces of souls that have been captured. They've been soul napped. And all of us have been heard about people wanting or needing to do soul retrieval work. Well, why do we need to have soul retrieval work done? A lot of times people go to a shaman or some kind of spiritual practitioner for this. Why is this necessary? Because the dark side, be it the Luciferic forces or whatever it is, pick your poison, they need the energy source and they're picking at us. And if they can get us to compromise ourselves, then we give them a piece of our soul unwittingly, unknowingly. And as we're going through these shows and these episodes, I'll be showing you examples of what a false contract looks like or a contract of omission looks like. Because when these beings present themselves to us in these other astral realms, they are presenting contracts to us, but these contracts generally are not fair or just. There's missing elements and missing pieces to them. And if they can gain access to the human soul, that little bit can feed them for a long time. They can pick apart the souls. They can soul nap these souls. A small amount of soul energy can assist them for a very long while, but it's not hopeless. We can reclaim these soul pieces, these soul elements. And that's exactly what we did here today. It was a very large grouping. There could be soul pieces and elements of the same soul. They could be different souls. There were so many, it was really hard to figure out. And frankly, that's not where our time should be spent. We're supposed to be spending it cleaning things up, handing off these soul pieces to the light side. The light side can figure this out. This is what they are supposed to do. This is one of the reasons why the angelic realms is so important.
Why there's so many?
They're seeing an opportunity for help. And and I have a procedure and a protocol I use and all that stuff. I wasn't able to do what I normally do today. I had to start by collecting the riffraff. When I did that, all of those things all those entities, those dark ones, had access to all of these souls and soul pieces. So once I removed them, they could no longer hold on to them and they have been freed. And that's why they're coming in right now. When I removed the dark entities, these souls were then freed. It's not much different than the concept of prisoners of war. I'm always talking about the concept of as above, so below. What exists in our dimension can exist in other dimensions. This concept of prisoners of war, when the captors have been removed, the prisoners are freed. I then put them in a containment field, the dark side, so that they cannot run away or harm us or harm those souls. Safety is always, always, always my first priority. For my client, for the souls that we're rescuing, and for myself. In this instance, the dark side knew I was coming and I had to switch up my normal protocols pretty fast. They knew who I was. They tried to get Sierra to stop from contacting me and reaching out. It took her a long time to do this, I found out later. And they knew, as I said, they knew who I was and what was about to happen to them. So they tried to attack me just as Sierra and I had connected. And those attacks that I can sometimes feel on myself are usually in the form of choking or something like that. I was able to remove them. It wasn't that big of a deal. I was able to remove the lion's share of the dark beings right away, but I could also see that something was missed. And I asked Sierra if she noticed it too. This form of validation is extremely important in the unseen world. Again, we're dealing with the non-tangible, non-physical realms. So having a second set of eyes is always important. I'm seeing a lot of different species in that tetrahedron. It's just not just, just reptilian, so to speak. When you look at the water, how do you feel?
Scared.
Okay. Okay. There's something in there that's still hiding. That's why I was asking. Do you want to see with me, or do you want me just to remove it? While we were looking around, Sierra and I are in our own form of protection. And as she looks around, she is never, ever leaving this space. We can see out, but these dark beings cannot see in, they cannot see us. And we both see them and we examine who or what could they be. And I always tell my clients that there's many ways to see. We see with our eyes, we see with our ears, we see with our psychic eye, our third eye, we even see with our emotions.